Yo, what's up? Welcome to the One-Eyed Man show. The saying goes, in the valley of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. In this context, it means I don't know much, but the little I know, I think it's enough to help a few people. So the intention with this channel is to educate, inform, and entertain. What do we want to educate people on? The benefits of ethics. So, ethics, morality, religion. I think a lot of people have lost sight of the key benefits of religion. And those are some of the wisdoms I'm hoping to unearth from all corners. I'm a Christian, and I also source from Eastern philosophy. I studied the Vedas, so that's gonna come in. I'm interested in Taoism, that's gonna come in. I'm interested in Zen. You're gonna hear a lot of Zen wisdom wherever it's relevance. And I'm also a student of Jung and Nietzsche and Dostoevsky. All of those are gonna be mingled in one pot. It's gonna be one intellectual cesspool that's rooted in hip hop and expression and dance. So ethics, and then we're gonna talk about business, lifestyle, and investing when we can. I don't think that'll be the main thing, but they'll definitely come up in as far as we could share. And then we're gonna talk about perspective and how to navigate life. So, what is a human being? What is a human being? So you're definitely a mind, and then you have a body, you have a soul, and a spirit. We can divide the mind in many different ways, but I think in my context, I want to talk about, you have the frontal cortex, which is the part of your mind that is dealing with calculations, conscious activity. And then you have the underlying structure, like the hypothalamic functions. Hypothalamus. I'm lazy to write these things out. If you can hear them, you're blessed, because you won't see this shit. So the mind has the frontal cortex and the hypothalamus. And basically here, I'm just trying to group together all the ancient parts of the brain that are responsible for a lot of your instincts. So basically your sexual drive is not in the cortex, like when you see a beautiful woman, you feel that stuff. You don't think it, like it's a bodily reaction. So those parts are deeply in the hypothalamus. And it's important that when we're analyzing a human being, we break this apart, because that will allow us to approach a person from different aspects, which is sort of related to the body, because the most ancient parts of yourself are really related to your body. It's your natural reactions, your interpretations of certain sensory inputs, your motor functions and coordinations, and that's a huge part of being human. So this already shows us how difficult it is to draw the line between mind and body, and I'm hoping to demonstrate also how difficult it will be to draw the line between body and soul. And in doing so, I'm trying to make a case that we should all try and approach life in a way that both the three facets of being are equally taken care of, and then we are an equally functioning human being. So part of your body is in the depth of your mind. It's in your reactions and reflexes and those kind of things. But another part of your mind is the cortex, which is your processing capacity, where you do a lot of your conscious stuff. And then from a Jungian perspective, there's another subtle part, which is the unconscious. But I want to use the unconscious more as a collective term. I want to talk about the collective consciousness of a human being. So that's one way of referencing this, will be to say culture, because this is where the parts of you that are cultured but are so deep that have become instinct actually exist. This is your conscience. Like if you're trying to lie, you feel something. It's this bad boy right here. Is messing with you. And then there's the soul and the spirit. Now you should already see that this can also be defined to be from this region, because our deepest understanding that exists in our collective consciousness is actually the foundation of our religious structures. In other words, there's a way in which one can look at the history of religious text to see it as the first seeds or the first types of forms of knowledge that is dealing with like deep structures of conduct. So now that is your spirit. It's like your conscience. That's your spirit. It's kind of like the you that exists outside your ego, which is what you think you are. It's those parts of you. Like if somebody kills another person and they feel bad about it, it's this bad boy here. It's not this. You know, in the classic Dostoevsky novel Crime and Punishment, we have Raskolnikov committing the perfect murder with the perfect reasons that any rational person would agree it's a good murder. But once he commits that murder, this part takes over and he's not the same person. He's now starting to recant. And this actually happens to people. I don't even want to go into depth in explaining it. It's standard. We see it in all the guilty people. They have that part in them that sort of is the friction between their collective consciousness. In other words, they're the deep collective morality that's within us and that we've accumulated through culture and through knowledge and all the wisdom throughout the years, and wrestling with this most developed part of the brain, the frontal cortex, which is the rationalization, the ego, the part that likes to be intellectual, that likes to hyper abstract on intelligence and those kind of things. So that's basically how I conceptualize a human being. We exist in all of this, and then we gotta work on this level. So if you want to work on this level, you want to try and read, and then you want to read useful things. And I always say to people, man, read what you're into, man, because I've seen over time, if you're doing something, you eventually get to the right spots. But if you're going about it with the right intention. And then the body, we want to exercise, and then we want to eat well, food. A lot of people don't know this, but your food affects how you think. I ran this little experiment where I changed my diet for like 1 year, 6 months. I think I'll talk more about that, but the type of person I was on that diet is not the person that you're looking at right now. I was way different, and maybe we'll get into that. And then your spirit, right? You gotta have faith. You gotta believe. You gotta believe in something. I believe in God, but my belief is very sophisticated, but also very grounded. And then if you have both these three things going, I think you should be able to navigate. You should be able to do well in business. You should have a good lifestyle. Investing, that's another thing. That's why you need me. And then ethics is basically the realm of the religious constructs that we're going to talk about. And then music is the expression of culture. Culture, in a way, is an accumulation of the collective consciousness that we've built as humans, and I'm talking collectively as a species. Yeah. So that's the channel. That's what we're gonna talk about. I can give you a nice, juicy example of the kind of things we're gonna talk about. For instance, there's this whole P. Diddy thing that's going around. I think we spend the whole day watching P. Diddy, all the scary stuff that he's doing. It would be nice sometimes to break it down, because I think that's a classic example of what happens when the archetype takes over a man's mind, and the man is not himself anymore, but it's just the function of the archetype. And in P. Diddy's case, if what they're saying is true, then that's the darkest of the dark archetypes. Nietzsche said, one can conceptualize a man as a battleground of different impulses, and each of those impulses, if they could have their way and win the fight amongst all the impulses that a man has, would attempt to remake the world in their own image. So yeah, the one eye man, we're here. We're gonna drop a lot of videos. You guys are gonna like it. I don't doubt it. It's not ego. I just know what I'm doing. Let's get it.